Just a really just full team win, according to myself. I just think it's we had contributions from everybody. We had people step up that mainly Carol Miller I thought was huge for us with her offensive output, but defensively was great. Chloe Sterling I thought set the tone in overtime. She was awesome. She gets a layup and takes a charge to start. I mean, that's a tone setter right there. But Susha, as efficient as she was, made them double. They're not a doubling team, and she got them to double late. Cost us 2 turnovers, but and then Jamia on a quote unquote, I guess, bad day for her. 17, 7, and 5 is just really impressive. And so. A little different cast of characters again, but it's becoming who we are.
Who said it was a bad day for her?
Well, just to me, and I don't want I want to be all positive with her, but like I don't think it was her best day. I really overall, I didn't feel that. She asked for a sub for the first time. God bless you. She asked for a sub the first time, and she was like, "Man, I just need some water," and it's like that's her. So not a bad day, really. But I'm saying, I've played her 34 minutes the last 2 games, and this is out of 45 minutes. I only played her 32, so it's a bad day for her. She's phenomenal, man. 17, 7, and 5, and 3 turnovers, sure, but 5 for 7, like. Her growth is incredible. She plays like that. You talking about Jamia and Susha only missed four shots. That's a phenomenal day. And I'm glad because I do think overall, right, her offensive production is awesome. I think overall it was a little bit of an up and down day, but she's come so far that she's raised the standard that much for me.
Yeah, and you talked about Carol and. She was in here. She mentioned she's had to kind of switch some things up a little bit when Heaven became eligible, and she only played 5 minutes a couple games ago, and then she's in here doing this in overtime. I mean, what's it say about her experience, her not letting anything bother her that she's bouncing back and doing this?
Yeah, honestly, it's what a very experienced leader would do, right? And I know what this game is as far as like transfers, right? I know you're coming here. You're not coming here to sit the bench, right? You're coming here to play. You're coming here to win. And how does that look? And we still don't know exactly how it looks for her. Heaven is changes the water, right? So we still don't know, and I don't think we will know for another 5 or 6 games exactly what that looks like for everybody, not just for Heaven, but. Carol's an example of what to do, right? Is you're going through it where you could start with Maine. It was like wasn't great minutes. We had a lead to start that game, 12-4. We put the 5 in together. They blew the lead real quick. It didn't go well. So then Maryland. I thought she played pretty well at Maryland, but again, disaster. We lose the game, right? So it's been an evolution, and I think I asked her to adapt as much as anybody. In that I told her to learn the 2. And the reason I said 2 is because, P starts at the 3. Primarily, she's getting a lot of minutes at the 3. If Heaven's playing even 3-4, who's our backup 2, right? Right now, it's Jamia and Peyton are the only people that know the 2. Well, we need another person there. So I originally started the year, she was going to learn 3-4. And then Hev came, and I asked her to learn 3-2. But it's what a leader would do, right? It's what a sacrifice is, and for her to come out here the last 2 games and be a huge catalyst for us to win says a lot about her leadership, her attitude, and hopefully it'll grow from here.
When Susha picks up that 4th foul, is there almost like a level of having to have some trust on your part, especially just there in crunch time, and then especially when it goes to overtime, need an extra 5 minutes? Just kind of take me through that process.
Yeah, that was the hardest balance for me today. I think it was around 5:30 to go in the game. So if somebody does have, let's say she had 4 fouls at the end of the 3rd, I probably would have sat her till around the 5-minute mark. I think that's generally what anybody would do. So I contemplated it, and then it was just like, let's go buy 2 minutes with somebody else. We got depth. Let's do it. And we did. We bought like a minute and a half. I think it was maybe a minute. But yeah, and I don't. The biggest thing I want with people in foul trouble, I don't want us to stop guarding, right? Because I have 4. That's like a selfish act, right? I have 4, so I can't foul. No. We're getting a stop. As a team, we're getting a stop. If that involves me, I made a mistake and I got to foul and I got to foul out, cool. But like she didn't, right? And I even kept her in a little bit down the stretch. We used Makai a little bit in overtime, but down the stretch, it's like you got to figure out a way to play with 4. She's proven that valuable for us.
Obviously, a lot of moving parts going on in a game like today. Some of those you have control over. Some of them you don't, like the foul situation. So, Sean, can you help us a little bit in understanding how you're managing that from a bench standpoint? How much help are you getting from your coaches in terms of making these changes? Because this is new for you going this deep as well. How much influence does somebody like Neil or any of your coaches have? No,
I rely on them a little bit. I mean, of course, as a whole, right? But as a little bit as far as their positions. So it's like if Susha needs one, it might be like, hey, Coop, you want Makai, you want Anna? Like, what do we need here? Whose eyes are better? Who's giving us a better feel? Who played? Because they're looking at them a little bit more. I'm gonna try to use this right, Kurt. At a micro level, right? Where I'm at the macro level seeing everything. So she might know more about Makaya's bounce or rebounding effort or whatever, or Anna's. Whatever. So I rely on them a little bit like that. But I told them today, they're coming to the huddle like, what if we run such and such? And it's like Charlie Brown's teacher. It's like, it's like, I don't care. What are you talking about? Who are we putting in the game? Who needs to be in the game right now? What subs do I need to make? So, and I really joked with them because they're talking about defense, or I don't care, man. Who should be in the game? What subs, what changes do we need to make? Because that right now is the most important thing. The plays, the defense, that stuff is secondary for me. It's keeping people fresh. It's making sure people are engaged the right way. But it is not this will not be an easy one for me. It's going to be a very enjoyable year, but this is not an easy year for me. It's always easier to run out there. You know, you run out there Smalls and Lex and Kiki and Coop and Jackie Benitez. I don't have to think about anything. I'll write that starters down each time, send it in. We got Rain Tucker off the bench. We got Jalen Carradine off the bench, Maddie Green. Let's call it a day. But this is going to be a really challenging year, and that's okay. But I do rely on them a lot, and it's hard because sometimes I'll go against myself if it's 3-1 for sure. If they're split, I might go with what I think. But if all 3 of them are saying, nope, we got to go with Carol Miller, all right, we got to go with Carol Miller, no doubt about it.
Kind of along those lines, we just talked about Carol, but have you been surprised at all, or pleasantly or unpleasantly, about how people have responded to? There's a lot of people who might play 5 minutes one game and 18 the next.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to do with that, Shane, is like 5 to like 15, 16, I think is doable. I don't think use Coach Broadhead here because he threw me a nice curveball today, and he starts Asia Sam, who played 4 minutes against ODU. I'm like, that guy gets me, man. But right now she goes 4 to 13, so that's the level. It can't go 5 to 30. Everybody's got like a range in my mind, right? Jamia's range. Jamia's never going to be under 10, right? Susha's never going to be under 10. But there is a range, and that's what we talk about. We talk about it every post game. It's like, who did it for us today? We all did it, but like, who was the highlights today? Carol, Chloe, right? Jamia, Susha, and you know, like P has a real quiet game, but a quiet 10, great, man. You know, so it's different. It's very different, and I wish we had this like beautiful 8.5, 7.5 rotation. We don't. And that's the thing. And I don't want to sit Micaiah down and play 0. I don't want to play Anna Goodman 8 minutes. I don't want to play Carol Miller 16 minutes. I think she deserves more. I think Heaven deserves more. I could go down the line, right? I can go down the line, but we have to keep the main thing, so to speak. And it's team first, man. It's a selfless team first, sacrifice based. We're trying to be as successful as we can be. How are we going to do that? And hey, if I take Chloe out for Liv, they better high five on their way, you know. And that's the mentality we gotta make sure we grab a hold of.
Again, in a game like this, how much I saw a couple of times, is there much interaction between the two head coaches in a game like this from a distance? It looked like you were having many short conversations with one another, be it because of fouls on the floor or just by the way it was going.
No, Coach Broadhead gave me a look when I think they called a foul on one of his kids, and the ref came over. I was looking the ref's way, and I'm looking at him. He's staring right at me, smiling. Like, do you believe this? And I that's why I like him, man, because it's like we're so tight into this, and we got to win, and this is like everything for us. And it's like, no, man, we're coaching a basketball game. Let's have some fun. It's okay. I'm not mad at you, right? I really enjoy his demeanor, and I think he's a really good coach. Good. Thanks all.